Right, so now I'm going to try and fit each of these parts, the bulkhead, the sort of cockpit area, and the bomb bays into the fuselage. I'm going to try and fit them in there, see how they fit. Yeah, they seem to fit quite well. Yeah, I may have started doing a bit of scratch building in it, and before I knew it had gone a bit too far. So I've used a lot of cutaway drawings and stuff like that to essentially get the bulkheads, the position of everything from the wing spar, the bulkheads I've put in, framework, and what each sort of compartment does. And I've sort of scratch built the inside using spare parts, moulding up resin bunks, using a lot of plasticard, plastistruct sections like T sections, and bar and stuff like that, and parts from other kits as well. And yeah, I had to call it a day after a while. I was like, at some point, this is going to get too much. But yeah, so far I'm quite pleased with it. What I basically found was the actual kit is really good for scratch building. Excuse me, it's really quite easy to use for this purpose, because your bulkheads and your floorways and all that stuff, between each other there's like a gap here with nothing in, and there's a gap there with nothing in. However, you draw the dimensions for the width of most of these and the height of things from parts that are already in the kit. So the floorway here, sorry, the walkway there is already sort of measured out from this point here. So a lot of the hard work in terms of trying to figure out sort of some of the sort of base dimensions for a lot of the rooms and that is already done for you. Going through it, what I've done is start from the front. So I haven't really done much in there. I was quite pleased with how the kit comes with that area there. Same with the cockpit, nothing new inside there. Back of the cockpit through here, all I did was put a little panel on the back of the wireless operator's gear with a sort of like a wire coming down for like power feed. Behind it, I've put I'll use a pencil. Behind it, I've put a chair for whoever sits behind there. I'm not sure what they do. Then the section here, I noticed that the flight engineers had sort of raised up walkway on one of the cutouts that I saw. So the flight engineer station has some resin sort of control boxes, a seat's been put in there, and a little ladder made out of photo etch going up to it. Behind there is the feed for like the aircon or air conditioning cleaning unit there. So I've actually bent some pipe work into that section to fit. Looking at the drawings, another cutaway that looked from this angle, I could see two pipes going in, one coming round and back out again. Then underneath it you can see some boxes with wires coming out there, the accumulators I put in there. Built up this bulkhead here with the ladder going up to it. Below there is essentially the kitchen. There's a water storage tanks, there's a ice cooler in the back, which is what that is, and a sink there. The galley's up from here, there's another bunk with a folding table. Underneath here, so I built the bomb racks up, put them in place. Underneath there are sort of more bombs for storage. Next one along, got the bunks in this section, as well as putting detail on this bulkhead. Then there's a walkway. This would normally be a solid section here, but I cut that out, added the framework to it, the wires that hold it in place, and then the gunners sections just after that, which I've added some other kits. I've got some Lewis machine gun. Is it Lewis? I think it was Lewis. Anyway, the top loading magazines for the machine guns. Put them on the wall as I found in another picture looking from this direction forwards. Underneath there's more bunks. There is some stuff to go on the walls as well. I've got the prop stand. So the spare propellers go on here, onto the wall, like so. Made this walkway going up and then up to the tail gunner's position here, all the way back. Other things that I've done are through this section here. You'll notice there are two tubes coming up, and they're sort of like a boxing section that I've done there. So that area there is their flare chutes. So you can see on the outside here, just above those 3 windows, are the 2 flare chutes. They're for the forced landing, so you basically shoot them down towards the sea. Other things I've done, I've just filled them in. Added a bit of framework, a lot of ribbing inside here. But yeah, there's quite a lot of detail in there. I'll do some close-up shots of all of it. What I found, if I don't mind to pat myself on the back with this, is that I've built it into the same section, so it pretty much comes apart for ease of painting. So I can get to the high detail areas without any issue. And it pretty much goes together. That's just fallen off, but hey. It pretty much goes together pretty much as a kit, just with these sections slotted in between. So So that was sort of the big reveal of the inside of the Sunderland. I've been working on that for quite a bit of time. I hadn't actually started doing it when I started the build. I had full intention of doing it as an out of box sort of build, do the inside as per box, and then build it up and do the diorama with it taking off the water. But since I've kind of got really carried away, started scratch building, kind of kept on going, it's hard to know when to call it quits. I mean, I could probably spend another 3 weeks doing it, but what I want to do with this one now is not have it taken off. I'm still going to play around with water effects, but my plan for this one is, and I've got this, which is the starboard side fuselage mount. I'm still going to have it on water. I'm going to have it floating just off the coast sort of thing, a bit of a beachhead, maybe rocky beachhead with a jetty coming out, not so much to it but just close to it, and then have the Sunderland on there as well, so you can see it from both angles, from looking at it from the beach, looking out from the sea, you'll see the beach and everything like that. But when you turn it round the other way, there is going to be a big hole in the fuselage, which I've marked out here. You can see the well, the line that I've marked on there. I'm going to cut a large hole in the middle of here. So you still got the framework, it'll still look like a full aircraft, minus a wing. That's nothing major. The tail section's all going to be here. But yeah, just basically, tail section, yeah. So this bit's going to be missing completely. So you can look directly inside it and see all the detail that I've put in there. Yeah, it got to a point where I was like, I can't cover it up. I've spent too long on this, and all it did was started off with just putting a couple of bulkheads in place and cutting that big sort of panel around where the walkway is. Started cutting that out, looking at some pictures. So I was like, that's not there on the real one, and then everything just kind of went a bit haywire. If you've been following me on Instagram under the same name, just with underscore. Between the two, between Mohawk and Models, you'd have seen a couple of pictures going up here and there just as I've been sort of putting a few teasers, so to speak, up on there. But yeah, now this is in full flow. I've got to do the cutting of that fuselage, which I'm not looking forward to. I'll have to find some stuff to do it with. So anyway, until next time, sorry there hasn't been much building in this video, it's more been a talky one, and looking at the parts that I've gone through over there, the bits that I've built up. Hopefully there's enough reference for some people that if they want to scratch build on this kit as well, it's a good sort of starting point for them to sort of work to as well. As I said, I've included still frames in here as well of what I've done. I would have shown how I did it, but it would have just been me sanding over and over again, just sanding and cutting and sanding and cutting, and not really seeing much It really would have just, that's all it is really, a lot of trial and error, cutting bits down, especially because it's not a straight fuselage in either orientation, up or down the fuselage. It tapers a lot to the rear, and then the shape of it is like a ship. It comes in and then it sort of bows back out again and then down into a point. So it's been a lot of just reshaping and profiling things with a real fine, with some sandpaper, using sanding sticks and stuff like that. So yeah, on to the next video, which will be me painting it. I'll be laying down sort of primer onto the whole thing, get a real good coat across all the sections that I can take out, and then we'll go from there and see what happens. There is a lot of painting to do. So anyway, thank you for watching.